Okay, hello everyone. In the next class, we are going to have our CT3, and today we are going to see what else we need to do except for studying for CT3. Let me share my entire. Okay, so I have shared my screen. Let me show you. You have seen this diagram, right? You have to print this slide, single cycle implementation data path. You have to take a printout of this slide and then take multiple copies of that, keep that to yourself so that you can practice any instruction. Then in the class test 3 you have to bring one of your own copies. Okay, in that copy you have to write your name and id in here, name and id, and after that you are going to override this datagram. For example, in the class test 3 I have asked you guys to uh, overwrite or execute jump instruction in the single cycle data path. So what you are going to do, you are going to print this already. So when you are going to print, make sure you have enough space at the top as well. Okay, so you just can drag it a bit little like this so that you have enough space to make any changes, and you can just make this like this. Okay, single cycle implementation name and ID maybe a little bit here like this. So you can change this information as well. Make it 32. Okay, so this is good. In this diagram, we are going to print this entire slide. Whatever the modifications you are going to need for jump instruction, you are going to do in here. Okay, you are going to write down your name and IDs in here as well, and you are going to edit wherever the data is going. You are going to override those data paths, and you are going to write down the control unit values. This control unit values for each of the marks, and those are connected to the register, like register write, mem read. Whenever needed, we are going to write down the control unit values in the bottom left part, empty part in here. So you have to print this slide, lecture number 8, slide number 3. You have to print this slide. Okay, is it clear to all of you? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
In case you want, you can remove this simple cycle. You can directly remove this slide in case you want. Okay, and then print it.
স্যার জাম্প ইনস্ট্রাকশনের জন্য তো মডিফাইড করা লাগে আমাদের
Yes,
সার্কিট।
then you are going to modify the circuit.
ওকে স্যার।
Okay, but you have to have a copy of this. Remember, you
স্যার
cannot
বুঝছি।
have copy of that jump modified diagram. You have to have copy of this diagram. And then whatever the question is, you are going to do all the modifications needed in here. You are going to overwrite all the data parts through those data are going in that instruction. You cannot overwrite any blue colored line. You cannot you cannot change or delete or overwrite any blue colored line. You have to keep them as it is in here. You can add some lines in here as well, but you cannot change or delete. Whatever is in here must has to be there. Okay, and you cannot override blue colored lines as well. And you have to circle out the marks as well, which input you are actually selecting. Okay, so this is the thing, and write down the control unit values in the bottom. So print
স্যার
out
আমি
the
কনফিউজ হচ্ছে, জাম্পের জন্য তো মার্কস আরেকটা লাগবে আর আরেকটা সার্কিটও আঁকা লাগবে। সো আমি কি কপি পেস্ট করে এটা কি মডিফাইড করতেছি, রাইট? লাইক
no. You are going to print this. You have printed this slide, and on that you are going to modify with your pen and pencil whatever you.
ওকে স্যার।
Okay, for jump instruction you are going to cross these lines like this, a barrel cross, so that you are saying these lines no longer exist. Then new marks will be added in here like this. Okay,
Okay, sir.
So this is it. So in the next class test, you are going to print this slide. Maybe you can delete this line single cycle implementation in case you want. But you have to keep your name and ID in here, and you have to write your name and ID. You are going to overwrite on this picture and write down the control unit values as well on the bottom left. So in case you think you can make mistakes, you have to use pencil in that case. Otherwise, you can use pen. There is no problem. Okay. So this is the thing for class test 3, and also for the final exam, you have to bring your own copy. Keep multiple copies if there is 2 questions, 2 instruction, you need 2 pictures, 2 printouts, right? So print one slide, then just copy those into 10 copies, 20 copies, how many copies you need to practice. You have to keep it to yourself. Okay. So this is the thing for CT3. Any more questions?
Sir, pipelining কি থাকবে আমাদের?
Yes, because in the syllabus of CT3, the syllabus is single cycle and pipelining. So both are actually included. So both is there.
স্যার তাহলে ওটার অ্যান্সারটা কি খাতায় দেব?
Yes, that answer will be on your exam paper. And then you are going to take pictures of this printout and as well as the exam paper handwritten answer, and then merge them together in a PDF file and upload in LMS. This is the thing you need to do.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you have to print out these slides. Please post it on behalf of me in your Facebook group that you have to print out lecture 8 slide number. Okay, now normally we used to give these printouts to you during the exams, not in the cities but in the final exam. But now we cannot provide that. You have to print on your own. Okay, so this is it, and I'm going to give you a instruction to practice for. Have I already given that? I don't know, but I'm going to give you. If you cannot, I am going to show you the solution in the class. Okay, so I'm going to give you, because in pipeline there is nothing to be practiced. I guess there is something in the class lecture, some problems that you have seen. You can practice those problems. If you understand the basic of pipelining, you can implement any set of instruction in pipeline. Okay. So in pipelining, there is normal execution, then with hazards, then to remove hazard we use forwarding and code scheduling, and there can be control hazards as well. Okay, so pipelining is good, I guess, but you need to practice single cycle implementation. Now you practice on PowerPoint, or maybe if you have already the printed copies, you can practice on those. Okay, and let me know what is your solution. And I'm giving the solution question in the chat box. So this is the question. Implement this instruction. Maybe in the question there will be mention of only JR. Implement jump register in single cycle implementation. But jump register instruction is always jump register RA. Okay, so you have to find out the machine code, MIPS field. It is R type. Find out the 6 subfields. Then try to implement that on single cycle data path. If you can't, I'm going to help you. I'm going to stop the screen share. I'm going to give you some time. It will take some time. At least everyone find the MIPS machine code for jump register array and drop that result on the chat box. And then if you have any problem, you can discuss it with me. I'm going to give you around 20 minutes or 25 minutes to find the solution, because it will take time. Because there will be modifications in the diagram. It will not be straightforward. You cannot do that straightforward. You know the register number of register array is 31. Okay, so find the solution of JR register array for single cycle implementation. Okay, find the single cycle implementation for JR, jump register instruction. And let me know when you are done. I mean, at least willing to give you enough time so that you can uh, try to find out what are the modifications that will be needed. First, try to find out the MIPS field. Maybe I can show you the MIPS field. It was in lecture 6. Okay, I can show you the MIPS field. Let me show you the MIPS field. It will be helpful for you guys. Okay, see that MIPS field for jump register array. And you, from looking at this, you can say that this function code is from 0 to 5. Then its shift amount is 6 to 10. RD is actually 11 to 15. RT is actually 16 to 20. RS is actually 21 to 25. And opcode is 26 to 31. So what you need to do in single cycle data birth, try to do it and let me know when you are done. Okay. If you can't, I'm going to help you, but take at least 20 minutes from now on or 25 minutes to find the solution. If you make mistakes, I will help you, no problem. But try, at least try. If you don't try today, in the exam, Wednesday, you won't be able to do anything. case you face any problem or trouble, do let me know. I'm here to help. Okay. Do practice on your own to find out the mistakes. Okay. If you keep making mistakes in here during the class lecture, you won't be repeating those in the exams. Okay. So this will be good practice. All of you should practice this and let me know. Hey everyone, there was no internet connection. Now I am back. So you can share your progress with me. What is your progress? What have you done? What, what, what is your update? What you have done?
স্যার আমি কি করছি
Okay, okay.
স্যার জাম্পের মতো আলাদা একটা মার্কস নিয়ে করছি আর কি ওটা
You have taken another mass. Okay, okay, okay. Anyone else who tried? Now I'm going to ask you guys to share your screen. Can you show me? Siam Hassan, what you
ইয়েস
have
স্যার
done?
প্রেজেন্ট করতে পারতেছি না
Okay, you cannot present me. Okay, okay, okay. Then how can I see your submission? Okay, so
স্যার
I will take,
ইউ
yes.
আর নট অ্যালাউড টু শেয়ার ইউর স্ক্রিন দেখাচ্ছে
Okay, you want to share, you cannot. Okay, okay, that is the question. Because I have shared my screen, you cannot. Now you can share your screen.
ইয়েস স্যার স্যার ক্যান ইউ সি মাই স্ক্রিন
Yes, I can see your screen.
সো স্যার আই ডিড override this instruction so that was as below which is 25 to 21 so I read the value register here read register. Then I have taken another marks to uh, jump to that address.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I can clearly see your solution is almost correct. Almost correct.
So, sir, is take to the marks, the below, and there is another unit that control the jump. Jump is equal to 1. So the marks is 1, and the PC comes through this previous marks, which takes the +4 and
So PC is not PC plus 4, so we don't have to override those lines, right? Like from PC to adder 4, adder that adds 4 with it, we don't have to override this line, and from that adder to mark 0 number, we don't have to override that as well, right? You have added a control signal value J is equal to 1.
yes,
Okay,
sir.
that is very good. That is very good. You need that for the marks, and you have connected that previous input to 0 number pin
Yes, sir.
and current input to 1 number pin.
Yes,
So it is very much good. Everything is good in here. Maybe because of Jamboard, maybe you have edited that on the Jamboard or higher PowerPoint. Okay, okay.
sir.
That is why it is not looking good. But in case you do it with your pencil pen, then
Yes,
it
sir.
will be very good, I guess. I think your solution is absolutely correct, but except for few mistakes, as I have mentioned, you cannot override those lines, right? And
Yes,
we
sir.
have to override one more thing in here, that is 0 to 5. Function code is going to ALU control in here, right?
0 to 5. There,
Yes,
sir.
yes, 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 yes.
So how do I integrate here, sir? 0 to 5.
From that point to ALU control.
Yes, sir. Then,
No, 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 no,
oh,
no.
sorry. Here,
Okay,
sir.
you have done really well, really well. So I'm going to share my screen now on the Jamboard file that I have already shared with you guys. I'm going to open that file. And I'm
Okay,
going
sir.
to show how it is. It should be done. And you have done really well. Others should have done that as well. Anyone want to share their solution with me? Anyone in the class? No one interested? Okay, fine. They're very shy. Okay. I guess I need to share my screen. I hope you guys can see my screen now. Okay. So we need jump register instruction to be done in here. So take a single cycle picture. Now this is the single cycle data path. Now I need to complete the jump instruction, sorry, jump register instruction. They are in here. Remember from the uh, slide we have seen that RS could be in 16 to 20 or 21 to 25. I assume it is in 21 to 25. Function code is important in here and opcode is also important. So first of all, we have to read the value of PC. This is really important. Without that, we cannot do anything. After that, we have to give the opcode to control unit so that control unit actually knows by reading the function code as well that it is JR instruction. Okay,
Yes.
we have to update this line as well. No use of 0 to 15 together, so we are not going to use it, but only this thing in here. Okay, in case you show me this thing, no problem. Even in case you show the entire line, there is no problem. You can show that as well. So this is the use of 0 to 5 and 26 to 31. Now we have this register array in 21 to 25, and from the mixed messing code field, we know that this is a source register. We need to read this address, and we need to make a jump to that address. But as I have said, that his solution is partially correct because he uh, has actually done some overriding here that was not necessary. So whatever the address address is in here, we need to jump to that address. So we have that address in here in this read data one, and we need to make a jump to that address. So actually, we need to store this value in PC. This value in PC. But in PC, output is coming from that mark. So we have to delete this line maybe,
Yes, sir.
this line. Then we have to say we have to take on another mark, which will have in the 0 number pin, it will have this output, and in the 1 number pin, it will have the output of this read data 1. That is the value of register R, right?
Yes, sir.
And to select any input from these marks to output, we have to have a new pin in here. Like for example, say it is JR. So we say JR is equal to, sorry, J, JR is equal to 1. That control pin it. If that is equal to 1, it will select this input to the output that is going to be connected with this line to go to PC. So we have to overwrite all of this again in here to show that it is actually going in this data path. Okay. So this is it. Finally, we are done. We have selected this input. This is no longer need to overwrite this line in here. So now this diagram is complete solution for jump register instruction. So to do that for him or for me, what is most important? To understand the MIF field. If we understand these things, we know we have to take 0 to 5, 26 to 31.
Hello, sir.
Hello everyone, there is problem again in my internet. Now I am back with the mobile data. I guess you can see the screen and hear me loud and clear as well, right? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to show you the Jamboard again. So this is very clear to all of you. Please respond. Jamboard. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir. See this.
Can you
Clear, sir.
have you seen everything in the Jamboard? Of course, very clear. So, this was all for the single cycle. I wanted you guys to see that whenever we need to update, we are going to update. So practice all the instructions that you have seen throughout the course, so that you are well aware of the tasks in the next class test. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you guys to practice some more instruction in the single cycle data part, and let me show you out of pipeline what you have to practice in here. Okay. There is a question you need to practice. I'm going to give you this thing as the homework, maybe. Okay. So in here we have seen pipelining stages. In here we have seen this laundry example as well. Pipelining stages. The order is important. First type, then ID, EX, memory, WB, and timings in single cycle. And in pipelining we have seen the time cycle as well as the pipeline time cycle as well. Okay, we have seen these things. Now, what we needed to know is what are the problems were there, and then we have seen the pipelining problems like structure hazard, data hazard, control hazard. For structure hazard, there is no solution. So this is normal pipelining without any consideration of data hazard present. This is pipelining with consideration of data hazard using ID of the second instruction after the WB of the first instruction, like this. Okay, and there was that solution of the data hazard forwarding from where the result is creating. Result is prepared in EX or the result is prepared in memory, forward that from there. And if there is any chance, if we reschedule the code or reorder the code, the stalls will be gone. It will be 13 to 11 cycles, only 11. The counting does actually first cycle is 5 cycle, then 6, 7, 1 for each instruction after that, after the first instruction. Always the first instruction is 5 cycles, then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If there is 2 data hazard, 2 more cycle, 2 stalls, 13 cycles. This is how we reorder the
Sir,
code to remove the stalls.
how do we reorder code?
You haven't seen that?
Sir, I missed that part, sir. I will check it out.
I think I have covered that, or I haven't. Have you guys seen in the last class what we have seen? Up to this only?
না স্যার কভার করা হয়েছিল আমাদের বাট রিঅর্ডার করার জন্য কি কোনো স্পেসিফিক কোনো রুলস আছে যে এটার আগে ওই কোডটা যেতে পারবে না বা এরকম কিছু?
We have to reorder in a way that there is more than one instruction present in between these two instructions. At least one instruction. At least the two instruction has one more instruction in between, so that the stall is gone. Like you can see, this line has a data hazard with this line. So there is one more instruction in between these two instructions, so the stall will be gone.
ওকে স্যার স্যার নিচেরটাকে উপরে নিয়ে আসবো জাস্ট যদি
Yes.
দুটার মধ্যে স্টল থাকে। ওকে
Yes,
স্যার।
in this. And we have seen the control hazard as well. So that there could be no more problem in there as well. Control hazard means we have to start the next instruction after, if the instruction is BEQ or BNE, we have to start the next instruction after the ALU or execution phase. Okay. try to follow the class lectures. It will be better for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to stop the screen share now. In case you have any questions related to the CT3, as this was review class, in case you have any problem, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to take the attendance, and that will be all for today's class. Now you guys say you have to say if there is any question. You have to ask me the question. No question? Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now.